Good evening, everybody. How are you today? My name is Publio. I'm gonna sing a couple of songs, preparing our environment, preparing our heart for the speaker tonight. So I'm gonna sing a couple of songs, and I hope you get tuned and participate with us. Vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into song. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. As you know, everything in this life is vibration, is energy. So let's vibrate peace, light, love. Song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold night, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades flung down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. And now we're gonna sing Love in Action. Some friends of mine say this song look like a pray. Another one say it's a way to say I love you to another person. So Oh Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the life that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, we just have to put love in action. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, we just have to put love in action. Have a good night.
Say me name wherever you are. Glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will disseminate wherever you are. Glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. As our Master Jesus taught.
Another day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start. When the sun turns off the moonlight, we get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise. And on the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, a new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, and the new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place to stay during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then, after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So, we invite you to set aside a container with your water to be magnetized. We would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Concampers Americas through their Facebook and YouTube. And we will also be every Wednesday at 8 p.m. By Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. Sorry, it's being retransmitted by Continental Concafres Americas. Okay. So for those who want to learn more about Spiritism, get to know to Spiritism. It's a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. New class will be starting on fall, so more information will be given soon. So stay tuned. The gospel we offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home study meetings. By posting the chat, you can request it. So please let us know. You are welcome to include your or someone else's names on the list of positive vibration. It's for incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by the good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. Please find the link in our chat. The topic of today's meeting will be lamp under a bushel. Why Jesus speaks in parables. Items 1 to 7 from chapter 24. Do not hide your lamp under a bushel, which will be facilitated by our brother Rodrigo Farias from London, Ontario. Everyone, it's welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will address the questions at the end of the talk. And now, we would like to invite our tonight's speaker, who will also do our opening prayer as well. So, welcome, Rodrigo. Hi, my
Hello,
friend. How are
how are
you?
you? I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm better now. I'm seeing you. I'm very happy to have you here tonight. Okay.
It's my
So
honor and pleasure. Thank you.
it's for us too. So I'll see you soon. Okay.
See you soon. Brothers and sisters, let us pray. Father, thank you. Once again, we are united in your holy name for the privilege of sharing the gospel with the ones who are watching this and the ones who were unable to join and will watch later. Thank you for the unity of our group, for the trust. Thank you for your trust. Help us to conduct responsibly your word, your gospel, to the ones watching this. I also humbly ask you to bless the homes, the families of each one of them, and also the ones listed in our vibration list. Inspire us once again today, Father. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Good evening again. Let me bring my presentation. There you go. So the topic today, as Marcelli mentioned, will be lamp under a bushel. Why Jesus speaks in parables. That's in the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 24. His disciples approached him and asked, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And he answered them, "Because to you it has been given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they neither hear nor understand." It's worth pointing that Jesus explains why he uses parables with another parable. What is a parable? According to Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's a usually short fictitious story that illustrates a moral attitude or a religious principle. The word translated to parable was actually likely something else other than the Greek parabole, the Hebrew mashal. I, I think it's how it's pronounced, which has a much wider meaning than parable. It means, according to Blue Letter Bible, proverb, byword, parable as well, poem, and etc. So a parable is actually a type of mashal, and wider, given the diverse use of what we know as parable in the gospel, it is very likely coming from what Hebrews know as mashal. Regardless, I will be using in this talk parable instead. No one lights a lamp to put it under a bushel. Rather, he puts it on a lampstand so that it can illuminate all who are in the house. That's Matthew 5:15. Jesus had very important and deep messages to give us. And how were they conveyed to us? Why did Jesus say that a lamp should not be put under a bushel when he himself would hide the meaning of some of his words? The answer is in that section we read at the beginning, Matthew. I speak to them in parables, because seeing they don't see, and hearing they neither hear nor understand. So, that in summary is why he uses. But the talk isn't over, there's more to it. Jesus had very important messages to give us, and he wrapped them, given their depth and importance, with multiple layers, and gave them a time dimension. Parables are timeless. Time and effort are needed to unwrap each of those layers of a parable. And then we get to see a different aspect of the message. It's a process. We actually do this very often. So we tell stories to send messages. And my brother, for example, he reads stories to his daughter in an effort to teach her lessons, though indirectly. She may not understand the meaning of those lessons now, but she will eventually understand. In the gospel, each teaching must be proportional to the intelligence of those to whom it is directed, since there are persons whom a radiant light would blind without enlightening. Each thing must come in its time, for the seed planted out of season will not grow. Earth, in our current development stage, is like a school. Well, more like a hospital, to be honest. But the analogy with a school still applies. A student in grade one can only understand the principles of math. Calculus needs years of study to be introduced and understood, with very few exceptions, because we have some geniuses among us. There is no point trying to teach calculus to a 6-year old kid. And on the other hand, without the required building blocks, even an adult will be unable to understand the foundations of calculus. And why am I using calculus? Because I am one of those adults. There is another aspect to it. Truth may hurt. We need to salt to dose our message according to the receiver. Chico Xavier used to recommend that we dilute a drop of truth in a liter of love. Now, some people will require a drop of truth in 10 liters of water. And few of us, I'm not one of those, can take a denser solution, a drop of truth in 10 milliliters of water. He also used parables to comfort uh, the people who sought his help. And it is known that many of the people who spoke with him, who shared their problems, would say, I was with Chico, I shared the problem I'm going through, and he told me a story. Now, the thing is, I don't know why he told me this story. 5 years, 10 years later, these people would finally understand why that story in particular. Unwrapping those messages take time. We need to be prepared to it. In Spiritist magazine, the issue is May 1858, Saint Louis left three parables about pride. Kardec then asked, why do you speak in parables? And he answered, the human spirit loves mystery. The lesson is better engraved in the heart when we seek it. Have you tried nowadays to get from A to B without GPS? We don't learn very well when we are just following instructions. So many times I was directed to go to a place I don't go very often, and after trying to do it myself, I would get lost. My boss actually has an interesting phrase. He says, and that makes a lot of sense. To learn something, we need to struggle, even if it's a little bit. Struggle is needed to learn something. The author, Kenneth E. Bailey, in the book Jesus Through Middle Eastern Eyes, proposes that a parable is like a home where the reader is invited to dwell and watch the world from its windows. Now, I find this a beautiful poetic description of a parable. We really need, if we want to understand it, we need to spend some time there. We need some intimacy with the parable to watch life through its window. I found this beautiful. And he also has a book uh, named Poet and Peasant and Through Peasant Eyes, a literary cultural approach to the parables in Luke, where he paints a detailed, colored background of the parables, helping us understand now the context. Then, those were recommendations on a talk I watched. He is not spiritist, and uh, especially in the books on the parables of Luke, some of the interpretation may be a little bit different from what we learn in Spiritism, but Kardec taught us, encouraged us, or rather, Kardec hasn't discouraged us to read anything, but to apply some principle, some to apply our knowledge on everything we read and extract the positive messages there. In this book is specifically, though I haven't read yet, but apparently it helps us understand in more detail some of the parables of Jesus, especially the one collected by Luke. Jesus did not express himself in parables except, and that's an important point, regarding certain abstract parts of his doctrine. But having made charity and humility toward one's neighbor the express condition for salvation, everything he said in this regard is perfectly clear, explicit, unambiguous. Jesus went into details with some doctors of law, with some of the disciples. He even explained or tried to explain the meaning of some parables to his disciples. But the basic message, the important message, was always crystal clear. Crystal clear. And that's so well defined in the logo of our group, Charity the Way. So, How can Spiritism help us unwrap this gift, those gifts? We find this in Luke 8:16. There is no one who, after having lit a lamp, covers it with a vase or puts it under a bed. He puts it on a lampstand so that those who enter can see its light, because there's nothing secret that may not be discovered, nor anything hidden that may not be known and made public. And we find this in the gospel. Spiritism has come to shed light on a multitude of obscure points. However, it does not shed it indiscriminately. The spirits allow each idea time to mature and spread before they present another one, and for events to prepare its acceptance. There are no mysteries in Spiritism, but we are currently unable to understand so many things. For example, question number 10 in the Spiritist book. Number 10, the very beginning of the book. Can human beings fathom God's innermost nature? No, they lack the aptitude to comprehend it. Simple as that. So, Kardec asks several similar questions and gets similar answers. Not to say that Spiritism has mysteries, but we are just not prepared to understand some of the concepts. It's way beyond us. However, there is a silver lining. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but man, this tunnel is long. Question 11, the next one. Will they ever be able to fathom the mystery of the divinity? When their spirits are no longer eclipsed by matter, and when they have finally purified themselves enough to be able to approach God, then they will see and comprehend God. Jesus saw and comprehended God. We are too far. It is going to take not just one life for most of us, several ones, but we will get there. And we are now heading towards the end of our presentation, and I would like to leave a reflection to finish wrap with a reflection that was inspired by question 627 from the Spiritist book, where we can find a reference to parables. Since Jesus has already taught the true laws of God, of what value are the teachings given by the spirits? Do they really have anything more to teach us? Oh, Kardec. Answer. Jesus' teachings were frequently allegorical and in the form of parables, because he spoke according to his time and place. But today, the truth must be made intelligible for all. Thus, it is necessary to explain God's law more fully and elaborate on them, because And here is the highlight: there are so few who understand them, and still fewer who actually practice them. I.e., there are so many who understand but don't practice yet. So, by painting a very clear picture of Jesus' teachings, Spiritism provides comfort to the afflicted and afflicts who is comfortable. I hope the message of Spiritism can help us unwrap more clearly the parables, the messages of Jesus. I hope it shakes us from inside. If we are comfortable, I hope it takes us out of the comfort zone. If we are in pain, I hope it gives us comfort. But most of us needs to be shaken. And by being shaken, hopefully we can develop ourselves, be better people, and then be able to unwrap new layers, even more layers from Jesus' messages. And by unwrapping these layers, see the beauty of his gospel. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much for listening, for your patience, and I would like to summon our friend Marceli for possible questions.
Hi, Rodrigo. Hi again. Thank you so much for your presentation and reflections on this lesson. This is very interesting, like to learn it through stories, right? Because maybe we don't have the enough knowledge to understand his message, right? So yeah, we do have couple of questions here. So the first one is from our friend Anna. She's from United States. She is asking, when the gospel according to Spiritism talks about teaching according to one's intelligence, does it also mean moral intelligence? What do you think?
I think so. Um, the several the several types of intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
I think, moral intelligence as well. Some concepts will make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, give the other face made no sense for
Yes.
so many back then, 2000 years ago, and still doesn't make sense for, maybe it makes sense nowadays to most of us, but it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to do. So that's something moral development will entitle us or equip us to to understand, meaning will that truth or certain truths will be more capable of understanding certain truths.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I agree with her. Yes, moral intelligence as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because all the Jesus teachings were moral ones, right? So we need to evolve ourselves, right? Yeah, so we do have another one from Anna. What does the expression that Kardec is the key to understand Jesus' message mean?
Kardec, um, Kardec states uh, the 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 Spiritist literature explains that the Spiritism is is the third is the third
Revelation.
revelation. So it
Revelation.
came as the promised consoler um, several years after Jesus, when we were prepared to embrace uh, uh, new truths, um,
Mm-hmm.
or to understand new things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an expression. Um, Kardec, um, the the doctrine compiled by
Mm-hmm.
Kardec
Mm-hmm.
definitely helps us
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
Jesus' messages.
Yeah. He
That being
was the path,
said,
right? He was the path that
yes,
Jesus used,
correct,
right, to bring
and
us
he
the.
played a very important role
Mm-hmm.
in 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 compiling, organizing all this doctrine
Mm-hmm.
so we could benefit from it in a very, very serious way. It does not mean, though, that
Mm-hmm.
it is the only way to
Yeah.
understand Jesus' messages. Now, to me, Rodrigo, it is. Spiritism talks to me, it
Mm-hmm.
helps me better understand Jesus' messages. However, way before Spiritism, our brothers and sisters
Mm-hmm.
from other churches were already able
Mm-hmm.
to unwrap that
Yeah.
those messages.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. We need we need to we just need goodwill
It's true.
and 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 to love one another. That's if you are in this route, you'll be ready to unwrap Jesus' messages.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when God asked me figuratively, obviously, Rod, did you understand or do you want me to draw? And I said, please draw. And then he gave me Spiritism because
For
I
me,
need it
yeah.
in detail. So I am embarrassed to do what's correct now
Mm-hmm.
that I know crystal clear what
Yeah.
needs to be done.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Great. And just to finalize, we have another one.
Who
So
is
do
Master?
we do we understand Jesus' parables according to our spiritual level?
Yes, that's how I. That's um, that's how I understood
Mm-hmm.
that chapter of the gospel. The more evolved we are, the deeper we will be able to go. We will be able to unwrap more and more layers
Mm-hmm.
from these parables.
Mm-hmm.
And as a talk I watched recently mentioned, so some were able to extract meaning from parables 2,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, even before Jesus, parables were commonly used. So it's the Old Testament is full of parables as
Yes.
well. So even back then, people were able to unwrap at least a few layers of this gift and understand. Nowadays, with a certain level of evolution, we can understand, we, we can see it through a little more. And there are spirits who no longer live here on earth, and they See, they can read those same parables and extract. They don't live
Mm-hmm.
in material worlds anymore,
Yes.
and they are able, like, imagine how much more they can unwrap from those messages given their higher evolution moral
Mm-hmm.
level.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's compatible to our evolution level. That's how I understand.
Oh, thank you so much, Rodrigo. It was great. Good answers, good talk, and always is good to have you here with us.
It's
Okay,
my pleasure, sister. God bless you all.
all of us. Thank you. Okay, so and thank you for your participation in the chat. And now we will move to the preparation for our tonight's spiritual treatment. Pass is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with health and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instruction or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. So we will now make a prayer in preparation for the pass, which will be our closing prayer as well. So I invite everybody, everyone, to close our eyes if you feel comfortable and wish. Dear God, thank you for this beautiful night and for everything we have learned through this tonight's talk. May we can practice your teachings and understand your messages and all the parables you brought to us. We ask you to help us to become a better person every day in our lives because we really need to evolve ourselves to one day we can reach higher worlds. Please, Lord, bless our week and our lives, our family, friends, people who are suffering, sick. May we always remember that you are our model and guide. Please, Jesus, help all the names on the vibration list and the whole humanity, especially the countries that need peace and love. Thank you for everything you have done to us, and please bless and stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The Pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Conquer Americas at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. And please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from the Spiritism Canada and the Spiritist group Path of the Light. See you next week and have a good night.
Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on there, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain